It's New York's country station, Nash FM 94.7. I'm Jesse Addy, along with Mr. Justin Moore.
What's up,
Thanks
buddy?
for coming in, man.
How are you, man? Good to
By
see
the
you.
way, just so people know, and you know, this is a 360 VR experience. You'll be able to view the entire room, I guess, during the interview. So.
Hopefully not this area back here. I forgot my hat, and I got a spot going on back here that looks a little more like you than me.
Nature's starting to take its course a little
bit.
Man.
I can't, and it's small, but I tell my wife, I keep begging her. I'm like, can I please just shave my head? She's like, no, you're not shaving your head. You already look stupid enough. You know?
When you walked in, this is one of the few times I haven't seen you without the hat. You played a show in Times Square, and after the event, you had a baseball hat. And you'd walked into, I can't remember, it was like Iron Bar or something like that. And when you walk around without the cowboy hat, you kind of a little inconspicuous.
Yeah, it helps a little bit. I was just I took my cowboy hat off, and I have a travel box for it so it don't get messed up when we fly. And my plan was to put my baseball cap on that I just literally bought Saturday. And apparently I left it in my hotel room, so somebody got a Razorback hat in my hotel room. So I had to come in here like this. So.
I've left phone chargers the world over, so
I am so scatterbrained, man. Traveling, if I'm not on my bus, if I have to fly and stay in hotels and stuff, I mean, I forget boots, I forget cowboy hats. I mean, it's like if my head wasn't attached to my neck, I'd lose it. So
what's interesting though, you say about being so scatterbrained, because when I was kind of seeing what you've been up to in the last couple months, and I saw you giving this tour of this entire building in Nashville, where it's basically like a standalone office building and studio. It would seem to be a very organized person would have to put something like that together to envision it. So,
well, I've got a lot of really smart people around me. Long time ago, somebody said, if you're the smartest person in the room, leave. So I've lived by that. No, my producer and my manager and myself built that a couple of years ago, and it's good for me to have a place to write and record, and I have an office in there, but I've never spent 1 minute in it. But no, it's nice for me when I go into town, because I don't live in Nashville. So when I go into town, I got a place to stay and get some work done.
Yeah. Speaking of not living in Nashville, what's your daily life in Arkansas? You obviously you wanted to be there, and your girls to kind of be around family, go to the same school you went to. But as obviously a country superstar, you're not the average citizen. So I mean, what's it like just going around town?
You know, the cool thing about I literally moved to the town that I grew up in, which is like 300 people. So to me, the coolest thing about it is people are proud of me and proud for me, but they really don't give a crap what I do. I'm still just Justin, which is really cool for me and my family. And you know, because when I look in the mirror, I still just see me. You know, I really am been blessed to have a lot of opportunities in my career to do some things that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do. But at the end of the day, I'm dad and husband and the idiot that, you know, all these teachers that my kids are having right now got on to all the time. So
yeah. Speaking of being the dad, I know you've told the story about being a coach for your daughter's basketball team, and that you at one point were having to shut down a 6-year-old on the other team.
I told this story again the other day because my buddy was asking me about it, because basketball is about to start again.
Yeah.
And my two oldest daughters will be on separate teams this year because they're two different ages, obviously. And he was like, "Man, you gonna play boxing one this year?" I'm like, "Well." If that's what we got to do to win, that's what we got to do. But no, I actually
more girls are winners.
Yeah, I actually felt bad. We played the team after that I had done that to, and because the kid didn't get a shot off, and I said I feel bad. I'd rather them beat us than me be the reason that a 6-year-old kid don't even get to shoot out here. So, but the parents on my parents, my kids' parents that were on my team, they're like, "Man, why didn't you do this?" I go, guys, they're 4 to 6 years old. Like,
there's no scouts here.
Yeah, you guys don't have a heart.
It kind of sounds like, what was that movie with Will Ferrell and Mike Ditka, and was it Kicking and Screaming, the soccer movie?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It was exactly like that. Yes.
Are you now going farther in the future? I mean, are you going to map out time in your year to kind of be a coach, or where you know you need to be involved in their lives, like a break in a tour?
Yeah, I mean, we over the past few years, you know, early on in your career, you really don't have much of a say-so. You pretty much got to go do everything. And, you know, fortunately, we're starting our 10th year now after doing all this, and the success that we've had thanks to you guys in country radio and all the fans allows us to dictate a little more what we do and what we don't do. And so we definitely map out some strategic times of the year to take significant time off. So the holidays is one of them. We're getting ready. I think we have 2 shows left this week, and then we're done for the year. And we typically take about 2 months off, 2 to 3 months off, and that's basketball season, the holidays, and happens to coincide with deer season, which I'm all about. And
you just went on a hunt.
I did just go on a hunt. I went on a mule deer hunt, which I've never done.
Where was it? Was it Iowa?
It was in Wyoming.
Wyoming, okay.
So it was a lot of fun, and it was. I enjoy going to different places to hunt, seeing how different people do it different ways and the different terrain and all that. So it was good.
Speaking of, as you're working into the holidays, this has got to be like the funnest time. I'm thinking you girls are 6, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be into Christmas, especially.
Yeah. And my wife and I are building a house right now, and we've been building it for like 2 years. And so I don't know if we'll ever get finished with it. I'm hopeful to be in there by Christmas. So we'd said this year we're not getting each other presents at all. We're getting a house for each other. So, so it's all about the kids this year, even more so than it is normally, which it always is. But they're jacked up. My oldest told us the other day, she's the one that gives us her list, and she's like, all right, I want all of these things.
These are my demands.
Yeah. And my middle girl and my youngest, they kind of just whatever. They'll be happy with a little tablet and a pen or something. I mean, they don't care. But my oldest is a little bit of a diva. She wants she wants what she wants, and she lets you know about it.
I think you've talked about that. She's pretty competitive too.
She is,
yeah.
And she got that from me, and it can be a good thing. It can drive you to succeed, but we got to get her understanding that she needs to handle failure a little better than what she does now. She's pretty good athlete, plays softball and basketball, and she's also in cheer, which is more like gymnastics, and she's really good. But if she messes up one time out of 10, she literally will cry, and I'm like, you got really? Yeah. And of course the guy in me is like, stop being a crybaby, just get back up here and try it again, you know. And so I didn't have any brothers or sisters, but I've been around mostly guys in my life, cousins and stuff.
I didn't know you were an only child.
I am. And so my wife's like, Justin,
we could do a whole interview about that.
You have to handle these girls a little more delicately than what you do.
Yeah. So. Let's talk about the album. You come out with Kinda Don't Care, this first single. It hits, it's a number 1 right out of the box. Yeah. So that's got to feel, there can be a better confidence boost for new album, first single, went number 1, and now you're in, obviously, to the next single, too. It's got to feel good.
It does, man. We've, especially with this particular album and this song, we took about a year off from a new single to radio, which was somewhat by design. It's good to make people miss you sometimes, and we felt like we were at a place in our career that we had enough success that we could take a little bit of a break and come back and people hopefully not forget about us. And fortunately, we were right. We made some wrong moves in the past, so fortunately this one was right. And we've been very fortunate. We put 4 albums out, and each of them we've led off with a number 1 single. So, I'm really, really excited about that. The album came out and did really well for us, and it continues to. And I'm really excited about the rest of the music from the album, too. Yeah,
the new single, Somebody Else Will, which I think kind of speaks, it's sort of the other end of the relationship.
It is.
And it speaks to, that there are those moments where you got to make things happen, which kind of made me think about, this is something a father is, and a married man that realizes that life is in important moments. But sonically for that song, just the groove, the drum line, the bass line, it's sort of a different kind of sound. But like you said, it's a little stretch for you.
It is,
but not necessarily to outside of the bounds of what would be country music.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's what people who initially were asking about the album before we put it out, and then right when we put it out, we're asking what to kind of expect. And there's a lot of music on this album that you would expect from us if you listen to our first 3 albums. But there's also some places on this album where I did kind of get out of my comfort zone, and this is one example of that. And for me, it created some apprehension in the studio somewhat, and because I never want to disappoint my fans or contradict anything I've done or said in the past, because they're the reason I'm here, is those core fans that have been there from the get-go. But at the same time, we've accomplished a lot more than I ever set out to accomplish, but there's a lot more out there that we would like to, and growing our fan base is one of those. And I think in order to do that, I have to continue to grow as an artist, and I think somebody else will as an example of that.
It's a very sexy song. If you haven't heard,
it's the
heard it yet.
only time anybody has ever put Justin and sexy in the same sentence, I can promise you. But no, it's a good buddy of mine wrote the song, and I loved it, and when I got in the studio, I really fell in love with it, and I'm excited it's a single for us.
I always like the stories of, say, actors that passed up on a movie role, or because it's sort of interesting to imagine them. And I know you're going on tour with Lee Brice in 2017, and there's actually a song. There's a big hit for Lee that was kind of sitting there.
Dang
it. You let it go, Justin.
I did. Against my wife's will. I had it on hold, and for those who don't know what that means, I know that you do, but it means I was pondering, contemplating recording the song, so I had it, and therefore nobody else could have recorded it until I made the decision not to record it. And I had it on hold for probably a year. And my wife loved it, and I liked the song. I didn't dislike the song, otherwise I wouldn't have had it on hold. I had another song kind of in the same vein on the album that actually ended up being the title track to the previous album, and I let it go, and he got it like the next day, and that's when as an artist, you go, crap.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot. I've been on the other end of that too. So you win some, you lose some.
It's like dating a girl, and are we dating? Are we not? And then some other guy swoops in. They're engaged in 2 months, and you're like, oh, that's right. She is great.
Missed out. But
the song, by the way, do you want to tell everybody what it is?
Yeah, it was Drinking Class.
Drinking Class.
Yeah. So
he blew it.
Yeah, I blew it. I blew it. I had the same thing when I recorded. If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away, just years and years ago, Luke came up to me and he goes, I hate you right now. And I'm like, what'd I do? Because we've known each other forever. Right. He goes, man, I've been thinking about recording that song for like 10 years, because the song's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
For like 10 years, and a buddy of ours wrote it, and he said he's been trying to get me to record it for 10 years, and I'm going, dude, how do you miss that one? I've missed some in the past, but how you miss that one?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know.
Wow.
So yeah, it's we've all got those stories.
And that's when you turn to him and say, you should have recorded it because somebody else will.
That's right. You're a pro. Look at you.
We got to end it right there. That's perfect. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Nice to see you without the hat, too.
Thanks, man.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Another 15, 20 years.
I want to look like you.
Thank you.
Up here.
It's NASH FM 94.7. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.